All right, and we are live. Hello, friends. Welcome to Clear Your Real Estate's live show. We are here live broadcasting every Thursday at 1 p.m. And we are here just to connect with the community. We talk about real estate related topics, other real estate markets, local businesses. And if you ever want to join in on the conversation or have any thoughts or anything like that, just leave a comment in the question box and we will absolutely get to it. But today we are here with Heather from Edsel and Company.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hi, Heather.
Of course.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Edsel and Company? We know who you are, but our viewers don't.
Okay, so again, I'm Heather, and Edsel and Co. is a boutique design firm that also specializes in builds. So we do remodels and custom home builds, and then also some smaller, design projects as far as just redecorating and stuff like that. But our specialty is custom homes and remodels.
And I have seen the work, and it's awesome work. So I know that you run, you have some really cool fix and flips that you've bought, remodeled, and sold. But we could also talk a little bit maybe about how our clients. So you're very aware of the real estate market we've been in. Buyers have had to purchase homes that maybe are good structurally. They're structurally sound and in the right area, the right location, but maybe not cosmetically perfect.
Right.
How can you help our people who are in those situations?
Oh, well, if you're in the area that most of us, I think, are in the West Cobb area, I think a lot of our homes date back to the 90s and 2000s and still carry that style, which obviously is not what the younger families are looking for anymore. So, our team will come in and we will go through a plan with you. We'll sit down, listen to your ideas, your opinions, your thoughts, get a feel for what you're looking for that works for your family, some unique designs that you might need, whether it's adding a mudroom, because a lot of these families have young kids and they need a place to throw all their stuff and not clutter up their home. So we'll come in and we'll sit down and go over a plan with you. We'll do a consultation first. And then if you decide to move forward and hire us, then we have a whole design presentation. We meet multiple times before we even start a project. And then once we get our design plans in place, we do all of our product sourcing, and then we'll get started with the construction and we will see the product or the project through from start to finish with you. So.
Awesome. So yes, in West Cobb, Marietta and West Cobb, we know that there's lots of dark paneling. So you could do as little as a decor refresh, suggested paint colors and changes like that, or maybe raise the ceiling, get rid of the popcorn ceilings and the paneling on the walls.
Yes.
To kitchens and bathrooms, right?
Absolutely. And, we can also take a look at some of the features you have and tell you which features can stay. Everything makes a comeback. We see that in the fashion industry. We also see it in the design industry, where I was talking to a client this morning whose husband loves travertine. And when we built that 4 years ago, we said no travertine. However, it's making a comeback. It's different from what it was in the early 2000s. It's not the browns that you see. It's the much lighter cream tones. But we can take and look at features that you already have, and tell you how you can either highlight them, make them, keep them and accent them and make them look new without having to replace everything in your home.
So wait, you're saying wallpaper's back?
Wallpaper's back. Yes. Now it's even put on the ceilings.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Wow.
I'm not. It's going on the ceilings.
So some of the work that I've seen of yours that's just so impressive are bathrooms. Would you say that's a niche thing for you, or is that just what I fell in love with about your work?
Yeah, it wasn't an intentional niche for us. It just kind of happened that way. That's what we really started with, was bathrooms. And that's just, we get a lot of phone calls about that. I think because we have such a large portfolio in master bathrooms, especially. So it was an unintentional niche, but it is definitely something that we specialize in. And we really love, and we want to make, our goal is to make sure each bathroom that we design isn't the same, unless somebody says, hey, I want you to duplicate this Pinterest picture that I have. our goal is to make sure that every design we do is unique to the family, to the home, and to their style.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that, like you said, mudrooms. So, like a lot of the homes that were built, like in the 90s, yes, clearly pulling a wall out and opening it up is desirable for a lot of people. But I think even like one of the homes that you had done, you did the mudroom, but you did like I don't really know how you did it. You improved a foyer, maybe like a little bump out. I'm not sure what I was looking at because I couldn't tell what was old and what was new.
Sure.
So that I guess would go into the lifestyle choice. Like you can improve the curb appeal, or if the side entrance is where the family comes and goes, right?
Right, absolutely. Again, when we sit down and do a consult with people, we'll find out what their needs are, and then we'll find a way to make them work as best we can, within their home, within their budget, and within their style. So, if somebody wants a built-in, but they don't have the space for it, then we can either, look at doing the construction part, which is obviously a bigger portion, and knock out some walls. Or if they just need a place, for example, in my house, I didn't have a place to put built-ins for my kids' backpacks. So we had to create a space for our kids to walk in and at least hang them up so they weren't all over the floor as we, walk in the door.
Shoes and backpacks. They're like,
yes. So we'll look through your home and we will help you find a space to make it intentional and usable for you.
So then you're saying you actually like it when people come to you with a Pinterest board of brilliant ideas from around the
Yes. Helpful when people have, something that they like. And then, of course, we're going to offer up some suggestions and ideas. If people don't have any idea, I've had a lot of clients come to me and say, I don't know what my style is. Then what we'll do is we kind of just start pulling different ideas that we have, and we'll find a starting place that, everybody can agree upon. And then from there, we'll work off that and hone in on their style, because not everybody knows. Some people come to me and they know exactly what they like, what they want. They just don't know how to pull all of it together.
That would be me. I see so many beautiful houses all the time that I get lost in the style differences. And I know is what buyers' reactions are when you walk into a home that doesn't have a consistent and uniform style throughout. It confuses the brain, whether we can put our finger on it or not. And I think that's what I got going in my own house, because I'm like, oh, I like this, and I put it up, and then turns out it's not. That one piece doesn't necessarily go with everything, and that's where a designer comes in.
We'll help make sure that everything you do, flows consistently from room to room. So that's our job.
So you act as the designer and the general contractor for the projects?
On some projects, yes. On bathrooms, kitchens, things that are smaller in nature, we do have subcontractors that we will use, depending on, the size of the project. Obviously, if we're building a home, we have a general contractor who will be on site to make sure that everything is done properly and the way it should be. But on some of the smaller projects where, we've got amazing subs that we know, we can trust, then I'll let them kind of run with it, and we'll oversee that from the construction side as well, because we do have that runs in our family. So construction is nothing to us.
So if I have a client who maybe is looking at purchasing land, could you be the one-stop shop for meeting with them, from design, placing the home on the lot, getting through all of the county permits, everything they need?
Yes, absolutely. We have a set of contractors that we do prefer and we use. We have worked outside of those contractors on other projects before. If a client says, my uncle's a general contractor and they want to use family, we'll work with them, but we do have a set of preferred contractors. So if you come to us, you'll get design, you'll get construction, we'll handle all of your permitting, all of your soil testing, everything that you need to get your home built on that.
So it's a fine line, because when people are tired of their homes in the real estate world, I get to have the conversation, and it's a privilege when people's been in their home for a while and they're raising their families in it, and then they want to have a conversation with me about, we'd really like to build our dream home.
Sure.
So in the market we've had recently, finding land, I know it's hard enough, but then to get from, is this piece of land usable
Right.
to build what I want, and whether they have any idea what they want or not to
Right.
build, it's finding the land is on my side of things. And
Sure.
then we need a good partner to roll in to help
Right.
us get through the next steps to make sure that the piece of land they're considering is actually going to meet the needs for the home they want to build. So
Absolutely. If somebody has a set of plans or an idea of plans that they want to use, then we can take those and we can get with our contractors and say, let's look at this lot together. Will this home, whether it's a ranch or if they want a basement, will we be able to build that on this piece of property? And then we can tell them and let them know from there. If
or
that,
modify, I guess. It would, like, if the plan that they picked and the lot are close,
Sure.
you have the ability and the skill to
Right.
pull it all together.
Exactly. Yep. We can do.
Awesome. What can I ask? I know Sydney's got questions for us, but I love having these conversations.
Yes.
They're so fun for me. What is your favorite design trend that you see happening right now?
So I would say for me, I've always been a fan of color. Growing up, my sister could attest to it that I had a bright yellow bedroom with palm hair. It wasn't probably my best style choice. However, I love color. It's made me happy. I enjoy it. And so when everything went to an all white trend, that kind of bummed me out a little bit. I didn't that stuck with my color. I think white is a tried and true classic. And you're going to continue to see that years and years to come. But I love that color is coming back. And I love that it's not, per se the reds and the golds and the greens that we saw before, but it's more of a neutral color palette that we can implement into a home to make it feel a little bit more cozy and quaint, and that your family really enjoy. So that's probably my first one that I really like. And I like wallpaper too. I'm glad to see it's coming back. It's not the ducks that we had in our kitchen growing up. Matching that you so I like that, it really can add some life to a room and some texture to a room with, and dresses up the bare sheetrock. So, and it's fun and it's easy. It's come a long way. They have peel and stick. So it's like you can get stuff that's a giant sticker now. So it doesn't mess up your walls. You don't have to use glue and all the mess you had to use before. You can put it up and take it down a year later easily if you don't like it. So
that is such a dream for me to hear, because when I'm showing houses to people and they're like, oh, the wallpaper, or worse, you got a house that clearly they painted over wallpaper.
Right. Yeah. That is never fun for
so,
anybody.
So to clarify, borders are not coming back. Wallpaper borders are gone forever, right?
I hope they're gone forever. There's not that so far. So yeah, here's the fun one. And it's a lot better than it used to be. It's not your grandma's, floral dress pattern anymore. So
So I know the bulk of your business that I'm familiar with has been in the Marietta and the West Cobb area. What other parts of Metro Atlanta have you worked, or is there a limit? Do you really only prefer to stay in West Cobb, or talk to us a little bit about the area and region you cover?
Sure. So, because we are a small firm, it's me and one other girl on my team. We do tend to stick closer to home, but we've gone to house in Smyrna from the ground up. So over by the battery. So we've gone as far, over there. We've done some stuff in East Cobb. We do stuff out in Paulding County as well. We've got a house in Rockmart that we're working on right now. So that's, a little bit out there. So honestly, we take it, job by job. If it's something, that we feel like we can manage well, because we want to serve our clients well. So if it's something that's too far, we feel like we can't give 100% of our energy to, then we won't take the project on. So we'll take it kind of job by job, and if it fits for our team and we can serve our clients the best of our abilities, even if they're a little bit farther, then we'll do it. But we really don't have a limit. I have done a house up in Calhoun as well, so which is about an hour or so from here.
That's good. So how do you feel about condo work? Like if we're like the Battery, where we're seeing a lot more townhomes and condos.
Right.
Is there a difference for you between a single? Like I know this is a more of a real estate related question, but with condo associations, HOAs, those kinds of things, it's not just county code requirements you're dealing
Right.
with. You're dealing with HOAs as well. Any thoughts on that?
So I actually have a contractor that specializes in apartment style living. That's what he knows backwards and forwards. They actually build a lot of apartments and stuff. But as far as knowing the construction side of it, we've got that part covered. I feel like pretty well. And then the design, wouldn't be much different. We would obviously work within the parameters. If there is an HOA or something that we have to work within, we would obviously do that. But as far as being interior of the home, it's really no different than a single family residence.
Well, that's good to know. I didn't know if there would be like from a design and build out if there's any significant difference in how you work. Sydney, do you want to? I know you have questions. I know like this is right in Sydney's wheelhouse as well. She loves the design and the making things beautiful.
Okay.
Yes. You've actually covered a good bit of my questions, but I do have one more. Why should people come to you for their design, construction, renovation, all their home needs?
Okay. So, one of the things, it's funny when we started, back in 2018, and we started our social media feed, I kept wrestling because I couldn't get my feed to look consistent and the same. That it's because all of my clients are unique. Oftentimes people will go to a designer for that designer's style rather than, because they have their own unique style that they want to implement. So I think what sets us apart is we work with our clients to implement their style in their home, whether it's, it doesn't have to reflect us. We want their project to reflect them and be representative of their family and their unique situation. And so, I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart. I also think right now, honestly, more than ever, if you're going to build a home or you're going to do a remodel, I honestly don't think you can afford not to hire a design team because we know the industry. We understand all of the ebbs and flows and we understand the delays that are going on right now, and we can save you some time and we can save you some money as we know how to structure a project to flow smoothly from start to finish so that you don't start something and then you have all these long pauses because maybe something doesn't show up or you forgot to get, X, Y, and Z because you didn't know that you needed that and your contractor's asking you and you have no idea where to get it or how to get it quickly. So I think especially now, it's very important to understand and make sure that your project goes well because you don't want to be in the middle of a kitchen remodel for months. You want that as quickly as possible so you get back in.
That's good. We have a question that's come in online. Is the current shortage on materials affecting a client's choice on choosing the types of materials they want in their home cabinets, counters, stuff? Because we've all heard about the supply problems. Thank you, Nate, for sending that question to us because supply chain problems are very real. I needed to replace a dishwasher and it took 3 months to get. So how does that impact what you're doing?
I think it depends on a few things. It depends on your time frame. If you have an open-ended time frame, you're not really in a hurry, then you can get pretty much anything you want. You just might have to wait. If you are in a hurry, then you're going to have to definitely narrow down your selection choices and you're going to have to choose from what's available or what's in stock. And even then, we are seeing where things we're told they're in stock and we'll order them and then they'll get delayed. So one of the things that we have kind of reversed course on as far as our business model goes is we are not going to start a project now until we have everything in your home, ready to go, waiting for our contract, because we don't want you to have a huge delay. We don't want you to be.
Wait a minute. So you're not going to tear the kitchen out first, then worry about putting it back together?
Yes, we won't do that. But sometimes you will have people who will start a job and with stuff that they've ordered, thinking, okay, it'll be here in a week or two, and then you'll get a notice that, hey, it's back ordered now, and we don't know when it's going to come. So if there is a particular item that you want, we will order it, and we'll just wait until it comes in. If you have an open-ended time frame, if you have a short time frame, we're going to have to do a little more stock shopping. We're going to have to probably hit up some of the online Home Depot type places, the big box stores, stuff like that a little more, which some of them have great options. But if you're wanting something a little more unique, you're probably going to have to wait a little bit of time.
I'm hearing a lot of customization in your services for your clients, which I love. Like that's how we try to do our business too, because nobody has like two people, three people. Nobody has the same needs, goals, and wants. They've got, in your opinion. You were talking about the cost, the savings of hiring a professional. So everybody has their do-it-yourself story.
Sure.
I learned a long time ago. It was the second house that I owned. I thought, I can do this.
Yeah.
So living through the mistakes, or living with the mistakes. So not only was my project much longer, much more costly than I anticipated, because I didn't know how to budget properly. I didn't know that once you take the wall out, what you're gonna find. It was just a good learning curve. I'm glad I got out of the way early in life, and I think that's where. But just in the design choices as well, the homes that we go in to show to buyers, oftentimes we look and be like, what were they thinking with how they put the cabinet in, or there's just no storage, or there's a random closet. Like just the layout. That's the cost savings place. I think that. Working with a professional who's experienced makes it pays for itself, hands down.
Absolutely. We offer to actually have sitting next to me some samples from a client. So we'll pull samples for people, and we're going to pull your room together before we start. We're also going to get a 3D version of your room, so you're going to be able to see it. A mock-up of what it's going to look like prior to starting, so that you can make sure that, we just did a bathroom where we had several different tiles, but it reflected my friend's style so well. She loved color. We kind of made it a spa atmosphere for her. But I wanted them to see it all together in a rendering before we just went and said, let's do it. So I want people to feel comfortable with their choices and their so we're going to make sure before you do that you're going to avoid those mistakes, because you're going to see everything in a rendering. Actually, that does help.
That's awesome.
That's great. So how can we find you, Heather, online? I know you have an awesome Instagram, but why don't you share it with everybody? Sydney's putting everything in the chat online.
Great.
Tell us, how do we find you?
So you can check out our website. We do have one of those, www.edselandco.com. Probably look. Check out our website. Also on all three, we will post pictures on each. If you want to see the full project, that's go to our website. There you'll be your portfolio and what little snippet.
My sound is your sound coming through okay, Sydney?
It's going in and out a little bit. I think it might be our service. But yes, Heather's website, Instagram, and Facebook is all in the comments. You can go click on any of those links and go right to it. All of her beautiful work is on there.
Awesome.
Excellent. And I think we'll probably on our Instagram, our Clario Real Estate Instagram, we'll share Heather's work, some of her recent projects as well, because it's awesome. And Heather, I'm so grateful that you freed up the time to join us today. For our viewers out there, if you have any other questions about any part of the design, remodeling, purchasing, selling, from a salesperson standpoint, as realtors, when we're helping buyers, these are obvious, like, oh, how are we going to remodel this? But if you're a seller living in a dated home, and you know that there's some things that maybe needs to be cleaned up, that's where we come in, and we love working with local partners like Heather to help say, hey, maybe we should get a bid on making these changes to, the bathroom that was built in 1984. That doesn't suit today's modern buyers, and it's surprisingly affordable. And we know in the industry, we know that kitchens and bathrooms are more than double the return on your investment. So these are the conversations that, for our viewers to understand, we're having these conversations at a high level with experts every day. And, most people only buy or sell a house every 10 to 12 years. So,
Right.
So any questions you guys have out there that you want to direct to us? If I can't answer the question for you, I have great partners in the industry that I'm glad to refer out and let you get all the information you need so you can make great choices for yourself. So it's a pleasure to work with great partners like you, Heather. I'm so glad you joined us today. And
Thank you, Heather. We had a great time. All right. And we will see you guys next week. All right.
Bye. Thank you.